Hi, I'm Confense Mandisa with the Marshall McLennan Agency. So let's discuss the Twitter hack that just took place. And I want to discuss it because Twitter believes that they're a victim of social engineering. And I've had a number of clients recently who are also victims of social engineering. So I want to go over with business owners some of the tips and tricks that cyber criminals use to get access to their systems using social engineering, but how can we also manage that risk to reduce the chances of us being victims of social engineering attacks? But first, let's read Twitter's initial response to their cyber attack to see what we can learn from their incident. Twitter says, we detected that we believe to be a coordinated social engineering attack by people who successfully targeted some of our employees with access to internal systems and tools. The main phrase of that, the main words are social engineering. But what is social engineering? Well, social engineering is where cyber criminals basically trick their victims into giving up information voluntarily on their false pretenses that would give them access to the systems. And some of the ways that cyber criminals do this is by phishing emails. And a lot of people are familiar with phishing emails, but I do want to give you a quick example so you know what to look for. So in this Outlook example, so I have Outlook. So this is something that may come across my desk and I may look at it as a legit email. But if I look a little closer, the email is coming from a Hotmail, not an Outlook email. So that should be one red flag right there. It says, dear email user is not specific enough. My name, which should be under the email user, is in bold. Also, the dates are in bold. It almost looks like it was a template and it just inputted the dates in a dear email user part. So there's a lot of red flags here. It's still pretty decent as far as phishing email goes, but there are still a lot of red flags. So that are one of the ways that cyber criminals use to get access to your systems are phishing emails. Another one is physical breaches, where it looks like a James Bond movie almost, where the cyber criminals will show up to the victim's location and pretend to be someone else, maybe an IT person or a vendor, so they can physically gain access to the system and do their damage that way from inside. And another way is pretext calling. In pretext calling, the criminal may call up the victim and the conversation may go something little like this. Hey, we see that we're running into an issue here with your systems, running a little slow. We're having some errors. Can you change your settings a little bit so we can see if we can fix this issue? It sounds legit, sounds like it's coming from an IT person, and they'll be very confident in the way they speak. One other thing that they may do to help build credibility, they may call and then ask to get transferred to the person who they really want to speak to. Why is that? Because the caller ID will now look like it's coming from an internal telephone call as opposed to external to validate them even more. So those are the three social engineering tactics that I see the most. And that way, hopefully you can spot them out if you do come across them. But if you have any questions on social engineering and the role of cyber insurance and how can it help protect you against some of these social engineering claims or cyber attacks, do not hesitate to leave me a private message. And as always, stay safe.